Hello everybody and welcome to the GMS Magazine channel. I am Paco Garcia, your host, and this is the RPG A Day 2020 edition. This is an initiative that started Dave Chapman and by which we are talking about role-playing games every single day during the month of August, following a word that Dave has devised. And today's word is want. Now, what do you want? And that's a question that you should ask yourself and everybody else around the table before you start playing a game, before you even buy a game. As you can tell, I have an awful lot of games, and I have a confession to make. I sometimes just buy games because they look good, even if just the cover looks good, and then barely ever read them. And sometimes I read them and I think, this is not what I want. And I put them away because it's not the experience that I'm looking for. Something that I always recommend to people is, what do you want from your game? What are you expecting to get from your game? Do you want grit and hardship, or do you want something light and comedic? Do you want realism and verisimilitude, or do you want epic fantasy with ridiculous proportions of everything? Because the games are they can only give you what they have to offer, nothing else. And if that's not what you want, then you're likely to be wasting money. Unless you're a collector like me, in which case you just never waste money because every game is amazing. But also around the table, when you are defining what kind of game you want to play, why don't you ask your players, what do you want from these sessions? What do you want from this game? Because sometimes we want different things, and with a little bit of tweaking, we can accommodate everybody. So for example, if you're playing a fantasy game, some people may want more tactical fighting, whereas some people may want to be more interaction. Making your games, your combat, a bit more tactical for some people who will be able to decide whether moving 5 feet is something that will determine the fate of the whole combat or not, will make it interesting if at the beginning of the combat you can actually make the people interact and see if that combat can be avoided or exacerbated or whatever. It's important. So making some tweaks, you may be able to give everybody what they want. And also you as a GM, what do you want? You as a writer, when you are writing your own game, what do you want from that game, from that experience? What do you want people to feel? What do you want people to play? Those things are important. Wants are very, very important. And they're very important to figure them out before. Because otherwise, you may find yourself that is something you don't want. And then what's the point of having it? You might have wasted money by then. Thank you for being there. Tomorrow more, and the day after, and after, and after, or whatever. So I will talk to you very soon. Take care.